Hi math friends, today we're looking at more multi-step equations. Today we're throwing in another skill called combining like terms. Things that we need to remember about like terms is they either don't have a variable, like 6 plus 7, you could combine those to be 13, or they do have the same variable, like 5x minus 7x. If we combine those like terms, we get negative 2x. Let's look at two more examples of this. If I have 2x minus 3 plus 10x, I can only combine the 2x and the 10x because they both have the same variable. So I'd have 12x, and that minus 3 doesn't go with anything, so it just stays on there as 12x minus 3. One more example of this too before we go on. 3n minus 10 plus 20 minus 3n. So combine the like terms. Like terms here, 3n minus 3n, that would be 0n. And then we have negative 10 plus 20. Negative 10 plus 20 would be a positive 10, so that's a plus 10. Simplify this because 0 times anything is nothing. That would just be 0. So that would simplify to just be 10. So let's look at how this works when we're solving equations and how to utilize this. Remember with solving equation, first step, always draw a line down the equal sign so we separate both sides. And then let's look at our first step. I see 4 plus 2x plus 7 on the left side, and I see just a 12 on the right side. So on the left side, I see a 4 and a 7 without a variable, so I have some like terms that I need to combine. So our first step, we're going to say combine like terms. And when I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and do 4 plus 7. I get 11. And this plus 2x, there's no other x's here, so it just stays plus 2x. On the right side, 12 doesn't have any like terms with it, so it's just 12. Okay, left side. How do we remove that 11? So now we're at a two-step equation, just like we've been practicing before. And that's what we want to get to, is something that looks more familiar. So the opposite of a positive 11 is going to be to subtract 11 on both sides. So remember to show our work for that, we're going to write minus 11 and minus 11. So that's 0, so we just have 2x equals 1. And then if you probably guessed our next step then, we need to divide by 2 on both sides. So remember to show that, we're going to make a fraction for that. So dividing by 2 would be over 2 on both sides. 2x divided by 2, we just have x. 1 divided by 2 is just 1/2. You could put 0.5 if you want to. I like to leave the fraction as 1/2. All right, and remember that that's your solution and that we're going to check that solution too. So back to the original equation there. The expression on the left side is 4 plus 2x. Instead of x, I use 1/2. And then I have a plus 7. Order of operations, I'm going to multiply first 2 times a half. If you have trouble thinking of multiplying by a fraction, think of what's half of 2. Half of 2 would be 1. And then I need to combine those. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 7 is 12. And that makes that statement true because on the left side that would be 12, and the right side is already 12 as we see. One more example here. Remember to draw a line down the middle of the equal sign, so we separate both sides. First step, we probably guessed it, is to combine like terms, because I see I have a 4t and a 3t on the same side of the equation. So let's say combine like terms, and then we'll go ahead and do that. 21 on the left side is all by itself, so it's still 21. 4t plus 3t, go left to right, those are both positive, so that's going to be 7t. And this minus 14, there's no other like terms on this side of the equation for that, so we're just going to write minus 14 next to it. All right, now we'll do our inverse operations again. Opposite of minus 14 is going to be add 14 to both sides. So go ahead and do that. You're going to write plus 14 Okay, and left side, that's going to end up being 35. Right side, those 14s are opposites, so that's 0. You just have 7t left. And then our next step is going to be 7 next to t, so we need to divide both sides by 7. So remember, when we do that, it's write it as a fraction. Divide by 7, divide by 7. 35 divided by 7, we get 5. 7t divided by 7, we're only left with the variable t. So that's our solution. When we go to check, the right side is where our variables are. So I'm going to do 4 parentheses 5 to show the substitution for the variable, plus 3 parentheses 5 minus 14. And then just go through one step at a time. 4 times 5 is 20. Then I'm going to put the plus symbol here. 3 times 5 is 15. The minus 14 stays as minus 14. Work one step at a time again. 20 plus 15 is 35. Then I have a minus 14. And then I subtract 35 minus 14. I get 21. And that makes our equation true because on the right side that shows that that's 21. And the left side began as 21.